What is up, guys? Maxmov here. Welcome back to another episode of City Skylines, back in La Costa, my Southern California inspired build. And right off the bat here, jumping into some highway action because the map by Mr. Miyagi, it's Vanilla Coast, I believe. By the way, if you do want to check out any of my mods and assets, of course, check out the Steam Workshop collections linked below in the video description. You can find the map and the themes that I use there down below. Anyway, the map actually had a roadway that went across this, the inlet to the bay. However, it was actually a tunnel, and I wasn't a fan of that. So one thing that I really like in San Diego, there's a little section called Coronado. And by the way, if you haven't caught up with the series, feel free to watch any of the other earlier episodes. This is episode 4, but regardless, there's a section in San Diego which I am basing this city off of the San Diego area. Some of the smaller towns like Oceanside and Carlsbad as well. But regardless, there's a place in San Diego called Coronado, and one of the main ways to get there is this super huge bridge, and it curves up around the harbor. Logistically, there wasn't really a reason to put a curve in this bridge, but I try to take a little inspiration. You can see a little bit before some of the Google Earth images, and now you can see I'm seriously just a fan of the Coronado Bridge. I think it looks super cool. I mean, I'm from that area, but aside from dealing with the water here, it's a fairly straight build. We're just shooting the bridge straight across. But I wanted something like that. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm happy with the finished result. Also, I am trying to get grass down here using the grass decals, the theme decals from Ronix. However, for some reason, like, I just couldn't get grass here, and I don't know. I figured I'd leave it. I ended up deleting it because it's just so much extra work putting that in, and I figured a little sand wouldn't be that bad, and we can always do something down here anyway. Pretty soon I want to start the export area, and to be honest, I'm kind of thinking about moving the industrial area, maybe not doing anything to the section that's there already, but I do want to build a big port and a big distribution area. I have some pretty cool warehouse assets that would work well. Also, currently we need some industry as well, and later on I have another episode recorded as well. But anyway, starting the bridge, and I want it to just kind of slope up, and then as you can see, there's a little bit of curve in it. I am using Network Extension 2 for these roads, and actually it does look pretty good. I started, like, I wanted it to look good, so I took my time and tried to work on it. I had some issues with the bridge as it turned, so I ended up having to make literally just a straight shot across because the turning just wouldn't work at all. So did a straight line across. Didn't look too bad. I also made these dirt slopes because I noticed when doing some research on bridges, a lot of times there is like an earth slope to them before they go to the bridge, which is interesting. Obviously, I assume that just packing in dirt and terraforming is cheaper for some of the initial slopes. I assume it's cheaper than having to pour concrete and cast everything, which makes sense. I mean, the higher up you go, the more expensive it'll be, but also just on those low ends, it's not a big deal to pack dirt in. I do want to make something around here, Coronado specifically. When you come off of the bridge, there's actually a little park. Maybe in the future we'll take a look at that. I'm not going to focus too much on this side yet. I want to just kind of, unless there's something big going on that needs to happen, I think for now I'll work in the areas that I have been working on and just kind of expand out. But this is something that did bother me a lot, and I wanted to see it in the skyline, not necessarily just a tunnel that goes across, but it's nice being able to see these big bridges in the background when you're looking at the city out of the coast. I think it looks really cool. I also experimented with putting some trees down, but wasn't really happy with it. I want to find a good bush pack because a lot of the highways in California are divided. The lanes are divided by plants or bushes, and I need to get something for that. I'm also thinking that I need to install that random bush, the bush angle, or the tree angle, the tree angle mod. Also, as you can see here, just trying to get a perspective from the car going up using that first person mod. Super cool. I'm really happy with that. But yeah, as I was saying, I need the tree angle mod, because that way when I'm using prop line tool, all of the trees will be in different directions. Also, just tossing in some extra sand because I think it looks better when there's more sand there. Obviously, it's a beach, it's gonna have sand around. And that cliff texture, actually in the next couple of episodes, I experiment with different map themes and the theme mixer mod, so it's not as bad as that sort of ugly vanilla cliff. We will fix that. Also adding some textures under the water to try to make it look a little better. Anyway, though, continuing the road out, because after that bridge, I wanted to work on a little area here, sort of the commercial area. You'll see me do roads here, and I actually did put in buildings there, but honestly, I'm really not happy with it. The thing is, I zoned it, and to be quite fair, the buildings that I zone, I'm not too happy with. For some reason, I feel like I have the best results when I build it by hand, so that's unfortunately gonna have to happen, building the entire area by hand. I'm also adding these walls. In the next episode, actually, you'll see me do something different with the freeway, and I'll switch the roads back. Also, for some reason, there were some power issues, not just from me disconnecting that line temporarily. We actually needed a little extra energy as well. But as I said, I started building the roads out here, and the road layout I'm happy with. The issue is the buildings that I put in. Some of them I placed by hand, and I think they look absolutely amazing, and the others that zoned just didn't look good. Parking garage is too high. I really don't want it to be a big downtown area right now, but it is going to be somewhat of a commercial area. I thought I'd put these roads down, and if I change them, then cool, I'll change them. But anyway, switching over there, as I said, right here, actually, I have a different theme, so I'm on the Springwood map theme. I've been using the Springwood LUT for a while by Ronix69, used with $2.20's Springwood series, the LA one, and I've had a couple people say that I'm kind of ripping them off. That's not the case. I'm not trying to do that. I am trying to make it a little more different than, like, LA is kind of built up and more metropolitan. This I want to be a casual thing. As you can see, I'm deleting all those zoned areas that I did off camera because I'm not happy with them. That parking garage will go in the future as well. That's way too big for the area. I'm trying to make this more of like a casual feel of a city, something kind of cool. I don't want it to be as built up as Springwood or as LA. I want to focus more on the smaller districts, more of the surf attitude and style of Southern California, and less of the LA attitude. So, also still trying to figure out what's going on with these warehouses, because there's some weirdness going on. Every time, you know, it's just saying that they can't reach after a while or something. So I really don't know what was going on with that. Also just messing with the roads here. The pollution, which is just a natural aspect of the game, does kind of get bad after a while there. So I think in 2 sessions later, because I think this is recorded 2 sessions before my most current one, I actually have a pollution remover, which takes away the physical aspect of pollution is still there. However, you just won't see it as that like purple tinge, which I'm okay with. Adding in some more warehouses, and some tanks. Like, I don't know, something about this area doesn't really hit me right yet. Some parts of it I really like again, a lot of the stuff that I hand placed I'm a fan of. The other stuff, not so much, so we will do our best to fix that later on. But putting in some warehouses there, because as you can see, the need for industry is insane. I could build an office zone, however, most of the offices are really high buildings, and I don't think we're there yet. We will do a business park in the future, but first off, I need to get a college down. I really want to do that, make a big university. However, I'm looking for, I'm just looking for the right assets, because a lot of them are more like Eastern style, East Coast US style brick buildings and stuff like that. A lot of the buildings in the San Diego area are mostly like Spanish influence, and there honestly aren't a lot of assets like that. Of course, if you find any, please let me know. I'd love to see, and I'd love to use them, but I don't know. Also, this building right here, I forget who it's made by, but it is the Impact Studios. Impact being a actually fantastic detail builder on YouTube, who also plays City Skylines, so shout out to Impact. But I think this building's really cool. I guess it's some sort of like creative studio in game, so to speak. Someone made it as a tribute to him, and I'm seriously a fan of it. I think the building's awesome. Definitely pretty cool. So again, trying to toss in some buildings here and there. Those two actually counted as offices. As you can see, a lot of the offices are really big, which they'll look fine as a business park, but I need to set one up first. That'll be its own thing. Business parks and business campuses are kind of usually on their own, and we can, as long as we do a job of it, it'll be fine. Also, as I said, I have a lot of really cool warehouse assets that I'm a fan of. Again, the mods and asset lists, two separate things. So the scripts are in one, and the assets, all of the buildings and the roads and props, stuff like that, they're in another collection. So feel free to check them out in the video description below. They're on my Steam profile. So, you know, building up these areas. Thought I'd put some form of a lane back here so that these buildings have access. Again, shout out to Ronix for making stuff that's super useful. I really don't know why that lane is on the other side of the road. It's kind of weird. Speaking of roads, by the way, I actually was looking into using Roads United to get some more American road textures, like dark asphalt. Is it just a theme of loud motorcycles going past my house? This is nuts. Anyway, I looked into getting Roads United to just have some like dark asphalt and yellow road lines and stuff, something that is like the American feel of roads. However, for some reason it really lags my game out, which I'm super bummed about. I can't run it. I really wanted to, but it looks like I won't be able to. So I guess we're stuck with vanilla roads. But unless you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. But let me know. Also, detailing that little park right there. Obviously, it's not like a leisure park. It's more of a factory park. I don't know what you call it. I think it's super cool, actually. Looks pretty sweet. Trying to get rid of that purple dirt by putting in the ruined texture, which is actually a really, really cool dirt in the Springwood theme. So shout out to Ronix for doing that. The only thing is the sand, as you saw on the coast, is more orangey. So I actually I swapped that out for another theme, which of course is in the mods list, but I used the theme mixer mod for that. I think it looks pretty cool. Trying to toss in some more industry because we're a little lacking. Obviously, putting in some warehouses, they look pretty cool, actually. I am definitely a fan of that. Excuse me, just yawning right there. For some reason, in Rico, a lot of the pictures for the growables that I I made Rico enabled. Don't have pictures. I don't know what's up with that. Also, I found these super cool loading dock props. So you can add like loading docks to any building. So as you can see, doing that right there, because I think that's super cool. Adding some loading docks for vans, and then painting in some parking, and then we'll just toss cars in there. I think that looks super cool. Also, I found a ton of vehicle props, so I am definitely going to be using some more of those, and just trying to find something to fill the space. I am kind of liking the way it's going, but I also want something, or like a second industrial park out by the coast. Obviously, we'll start with the docks and we'll work inland, so that way we have a like huge plazas, big distribution centers, big warehouses, transit hubs. Speaking of transit, we have a rail yard here. We'll probably put one on the coast for the shipping center. However, I honestly want to start a commuter rail line. I'm going to use Amtrak trains because especially in like Oceanside and Carlsbad, like Carlsbad being the place where my house is in California. So obviously Amtrak is kind of a big thing around there, and the Surfliner, I found a super cool Surfliner prop, I believe made by Bisquigglehausen actually. So shout out to him. He makes some really great trains, but I also have Union Pacific and BNSF trains there. 2 episodes from now, I've been super addicted to the game, so I have a lot of Farm Sim Mills County recorded, as well as a lot of this recorded. So expect those to be the 2 main series going on, because I am seriously addicted to La Costa right now. I've been like inspired like crazy to build a ton, so that's definitely going to be happening a lot. But we are actually getting towards the end of the episode. I'm going to continue to work here, but just wanted to wrap things up. Like as usual, you know, I'll say it. If you have any suggestions for the game, I would seriously love to see it. Specifically, if you know of any good Spanish style buildings. I just want to say right now, this in and out actually turned out pretty well, and I want to do stuff like this for this area, sort of low, both low density and low height, like commercial, so fast food and stuff like that. Maybe some shops here and there. Building a drive-through though, which seriously, I like the look of it. Having that car go through made me realize that the lane directions are actually, it needs to be a one-way. Also using prop line tool to add in road lines. But to continue my outro, again, if you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on the video, because it does help show your support. And I mean, this series isn't that big right now, but part of me is doing it just for me because holy crap, I'm addicted to City Skylines. I think it's super fun. I've been really inspired, so putting in a lot of these buildings, which I need to get more of, obviously. So again, if you have any asset suggestions, please send them to me. I would really love to see them. And, you know, just bulk up my asset collection. Also tossing in a shell, I think that's pretty cool. Trying to cover both my outro and what's going on screen right now. Yeah, you know, whatever. But, of course, leave a like if you did enjoy, and by any chance, if you are new here, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on any more of my content. As I said, I'm going to be trying to do La Costa a lot more, so if you did enjoy this series, please subscribe, please leave a like, and, you know, stick around, because there will be a lot more City Skylines coming soon. And as I said, I'm relatively new to the game, so the more I'm playing, the more that my skills are developing, and hopefully we'll be seeing some cooler stuff in La Costa. Anyway though, my name is Maxmov. We're going to get to some cinematics pretty soon, so let's kick up the music. Again, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in episode 5. See you guys later.